Let's find out what's happening with our local news, weather, and sports. Bob Miller and Chris Michaels are here from WFMD's Morning News Express. Well, hello. How are you?
I'm good.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey,
I see, Chris, you've got that polish on your scalp there. I don't know. Is that intentional? Are you sweating? What's happening over there?
No, Danny, I'm glowing, obviously. That's what Bob always tells me. I'm glowing.
Glowing. Yes, you are. You are glowing. Yes.
Whatever that
love
word
it.
is. Yeah.
Can we say that with FCC regulate you saying that word? What
Yeah,
did you say?
absolutely. You know,
What did you say?
It's like you're schwitzing.
Oh, I heard
Spritzing.
something else. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I heard something else. Okay, never mind.
Oh.
I must
Well,
be
that's
wrong.
okay. Thankfully, we're not covered by
Regulated.
FCC rules, so we can pretty much say whatever.
Well, we won't. We won't.
Yes. So happy Tuesday. Is there any good news, Chris? I'm going to ask first.
Well, you're asking the wrong person because he's
Yeah.
bringing you, Eddie.
Well, the good news is me and Bob are here. That's
Well,
good news,
that is
right?
good news, of
And
course.
today's-
Frederick, we need the good news section. I don't know, but of course we do need to know what is happening locally. Chris, why don't you give us that update?
So you said today's Tuesday, right?
Today
So
is
that means
yes.
tomorrow's Wednesday. So if you look at the calendar after Tuesday, the calendar says WTF. And I'll just, and those of you who know what that means, know what that means after Tuesday. So anyway, getting into news. Let's see. I got to have a little bit of humor before I bring the
Yes.
Frederick police are investigating a shooting early Friday morning at around 3:05 a.m. Officers respond to the area of East All Saints Street parking garage for a man who sustained a gunshot wound. And if it's 3:05 in the morning, you don't want to be in the East All Saints Street parking garage. I'm just saying. The victim was given immediate care and transported to an area trauma center where he reported to be in stable condition. Police say the shooting itself is believed to have occurred along the Carroll Creek line of park between East Street and South Market Street. Of course, anyone who has information on this incident is asked to contact Frederick Police. They can call detective, and I'm probably going to botch his name. I'm sorry, Yachovich at 240-549-4450, or send an email to KYACKOVICH at frederickmdpolice.org. Citizens with information who wish to remain anonymous can call the tip line at 301-600-TIPS. So again, if you know something, say something. They can definitely use your help in solving this. It's part of an EPA mandate. The city of Frederick says it has launched a comprehensive lead service line inventory. It's part of the lead and copper rule revisions mandated by the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. In a statement, Mayor Michael O'Connor says the city maintains clean and high-quality drinking water for all its residents, but it's continuing to take steps to meet the high standards set by the EPA. Clean drinking water for our residents is a fundamental and necessary priority of any government organization. And I will say this, Danny, and Bob knows this because I always talk about this on air. I love getting my water. I'm not going to say where because it's busy enough. I think you have an idea of where it is, Danny. I love getting my water at a certain mountain spring, and it is good. But the problem is, if you don't go up there at like 4:00 in the morning when I do before I get to work, it is packed.
Yeah, so it's so funny you say this. I had forgotten about all of that, and I was visiting, I think I was when I was interviewing Sarah Coleman. I was there, and a woman was probably in her 70s, was talking about getting her water and traipsing down there with her, her containers, and I'd forgotten all about it. So it's packed up there, is it?
It is packed. I mean, the water, that's the only place I get my water from. I have 5 big buckets I use, and usually I get there around 4 in the morning. And let me tell you, it is creepy up there at 4:00 in the morning. You never know if you're going to run into a bear or a lion or a tiger or a giraffe or who knows.
Sasquatch.
But Sasquatch, there you go.
Yeah.
So when Bob sends the text message, "Hey Chris, are you at work?" I'm like, "No, Bob, I'm getting water." But the water is so good. It's natural. It's ice cold when it comes out. So that's where I get my water from.
Isn't all water natural water? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
If you don't want to go there, Chris, I mean, you can always go down to the bottom of Gravel Hill Road and Gravel Hill and Dublin Road. They've got a continuous running spigot. People are there all the time. So
I don't want gravel. I don't want gravel in my water, Bob. That's the only difference. Gravel Hill Road sounds like it's not gravel.
So wait, Bob, where is that one? Is that in Walkersville?
Well, it's right there at Dublin Road and Gravel Hill Road. More Woodsboro than it is Walkersville.
Oh, right.
And it's right there at the corner. And people are there all the time filling up their water buckets and their gallon containers. Now, I don't know if they're drinking. I know as a kid, we used to ride down there all the time because it was always cold and it was always wonderful. Today, they probably, oh, my gosh, there's probably EPA warnings and everything. Who cares? It's spring-fed. It's wonderful water. Yeah. You don't have to worry about Sasquatch or meth addicts in the mountains to attack you. So
we are very lucky here, living in an area on so many springs. I mean, obviously, where my parents live, Yellow Springs, there's a ton of fresh water. Their well is, been amazing, and so I think we're very, very lucky to have all that.
Just stay away from Fort Detrick. I'm just saying.
Or Carroll Creek water. You just
you don't want to drink that.
Yeah, definitely wouldn't do that. All right, getting back to news here. Okay, so 2 road improvement projects. So here you go, your tax money at work here. 2 road improvement projects will impact drivers this week. Frederick County's Division of Public Works warns motorists to expect delays along Sugarloaf Parkway during evening and overnight hours for paving operations. DPW also asked motorists to follow detours around Lindbergh Road and Weller Road during daytime hours for pipe replacements. So there you go. Just beware of that. See, not too bad today as far as news, right? We don't have too many bad news for you, Dani.
Not too bad at all. Not too bad at all.
Real quick, if I interject a story here that we talked about on the air, and that is the fact that there are some people, some business owners, and this is right down your alley, Dani. You're a business owner in Frederick, but the people who are coming in and they're having all these festivals on Carroll Creek, some of the business owners are saying, hey, all these outsiders are coming in and taking away business from us. So they've kind of scaled back and they've put a moratorium on allowing people to come on the creek for right now till they do kind of more of an assessment on how it's affecting downtown Frederick.
So this is very interesting that you bring this up because since the home of everything Frederick has opened on Market Street, Shannon receives all the emails to downtown Frederick partnership people, merchants. And yes, they have complained very loudly about the fact that the Carroll Creek Linear Park is under Parks and Rec and is available to rent to anybody at any time if they pay the fees and do the permitting and go through the things you have to do. And they do say that it takes away from their business. They also say that they shouldn't have to purchase a vendor booth if they are a downtown merchant, right? Because people say, well, just get a booth. And a lot of times those booths are very expensive. So I'm not sure if the solution is that perhaps the city sets aside a part of Carroll Creek, maybe even over where 50 Citizens Way is, that side where local downtown businesses can set up for free and utilize the opportunity to reach the masses. Or we need to come up with, and one of the things I've suggested to many downtown businesses is you go where the people are. So whether or not you have a booth down there or do extra marketing during those events to tell people why they should be in your shop. I mean, the whole point of Carroll Creek Linear Park and the whole point of downtown was to bring more people downtown. They also complain about in the streets. They complain about all these big events. And it's crazy because that's the purpose of Downtown Frederick Partnership and Visit Frederick is to bring thousands of people to the area. So I see both sides, and I'm not sure what the solution will be. But I think it's interesting that the city is going to put a moratorium on for a while to the creek.
You bring up a good point, Dani. I'm sorry. You bring up a good point, Dani, with the things like in the street. All these people who are going downtown, they'll actually see your business. They're looking around. They're seeing different businesses that they might have never seen before. And bada bing, bada boom, they'll be a new customer.
Yeah, and it's funny because when I used to do events at the mall, at FSK Mall, and we'd bring in 4,000 people in a 3-hour period, all the merchants would complain. They'd all complain. And I'd say, when was the last time 3,000 people were in this mall at one time? Like 1986, probably. So, yes, I understand they're not shopping today. Hand them something to get them to come back within 7 days. Hey, if you come back within 7 days, you'll get a free gift bag with purchase, or you'll get 25% off. Make it worth their while. Do the incentive, but market to the people for the time. Don't try to force these people into your store when they're focused on trick-or-treating, let's say, or being at a festival. But do things to get them to come back. And that's the thing to me. Sometimes you have to get creative.
Right. It's funny because it sounds like they're biting the hand that feeds them sometimes.
Yes.
I mean, this is why we did all this. This is why Carroll Creek. And I think what's happening is that a lot of people, maybe you're further up Market Street or you're further down Patrick Street and people are walking the creek. And, there's all the parking decks and they end up going home instead of going into the stores. But it's still bringing people to downtown. Now, with that being said, most of the time when I know those festivals are going on, being somebody who's a little more local, I stay away. I don't typically go to Fire and Ice or all the other events because the crowd, it's just too many people and they're all from outside. A lot of them are from outside. And I'm like, hey, this is your day to enjoy it. I'll go another day and enjoy it.
Yeah, look, I get the crowd thing. I'm not a huge fan of crowds. Then Ice is spectacular, though.
Yes,
I had a great time this past year. You either have to go really early, actually, and go down and check things out and then scoot, or you go really late. My husband and I used to, if we had plans, we would go at like 8:30 and hardly, there weren't a lot of people out. You get to see the boats and that sort of thing. But I think these merchants, you're right, are going to the detriment of themselves, they're going to complain and without being creative. And I think you have to, what I would do is I would pay a couple kids $15 an hour to stand at every parking garage and flyer people like the club promoters used to do in the past. Because if your store is that great, if you've got a product that's awesome, I would highlight it and, again, give people an incentive to come back within the next 2 to 3 days and make it worth their while. And I think you'll find they're going to be very successful doing that. Or make sure there's a big QR code in your window that you snap and say, hey, shoot this QR code and you're going to save 50% on your next online purchase, or whatever it is. You have to just market to people in where the consumer is at the moment. So, yeah, I don't know.
Like Dani's got another job coming to her.
Right? Marketing, there you go.
See, liaison between businesses and the downtown Frederick partnership.
Yes, I have a little different take on things. I think the demographics are changing in Frederick. I think a lot of the younger people who moved into Frederick, I think they like being around the local people in Frederick. I think they like being around people. I think they like being in the big crowds. So I think a lot of the newer people who moved into Frederick, local people will go out a lot more for these big functions going on. But in the past, yes, I get it, when Frederick was more of a smaller town. But now, with all the people moving in here, I just think locals love going out and exploring downtown. At least the ones I talk to.
100% agree. Young people, first of all, across the board, love crowds. Most of them. You know what I mean? They love being where the people are, where the action is. They don't want to be left out. And I hear Bob, too, because now that we're old fogies, sometimes we don't like being out where it's crazy and the party's going on. But look, I think we have the whole purpose of why we love this town is we have so many great things to showcase, and we want people to come and see. We want to show off a little bit, and and attract new people to the town. So it's very funny because it is a huge catch-22, and I think they will find if they continue to push and they say, okay, no more outside vendors are allowed to rent the amphitheater or Carroll Creek, then they're going to be like, well, where is everybody?
Right.
Yeah,
well, but
absolutely.
then again, if you really want to parcel this out, people on the west side are going, hey, what about us? We've got businesses down here. Their space is over here. Let's work a little bit more getting that park over there off of Butterfly Lane open, and maybe put an amphitheater over there. And maybe we add some events over on this side. We're working on getting, the tarnished mile golden again.
Yes.
So there, and then there's always somebody going to complain regardless.
Always.
And, it is what it is. And I think your idea of people having outside of the boxes, type of imagination, that worked.
Yeah.
See, this is why he's the morning mayor, Dani.
I know. I'm
I'd
sure
vote for him.
we'll get it passed here for sure. All right, what's happening with weather?
And I'm sure Dani would love to hear your comments. So comment on what you think, your opinions, because that's most important to people of Frederick. Comment your opinions
Absolutely.
under
Yes,
here.
we definitely want to hear what you have to say about that.
So getting the weather, partly cloudy. Excuse me, I'm sorry. When you're in radio, you tend to lose your voice. Partly cloudy this morning, then becoming cloudy during the afternoon. A stray shower or thunderstorms is possible. High of 99, almost at that century mark. Yes, it's going to be hot, down to low of 79. Tomorrow we'll have partly cloudy skies in the morning, followed by scattered thunderstorms in the afternoon. Hot and humid. It just does a number on my hair when it's hot and humid. High 98, partly to mostly cloudy skies with scattered thunderstorms before midnight. Low of 71. And I got to tell you, when I walked outside yesterday, it was just so hot. But like I told Bob this morning, even if it's wintertime, when me and Bob walk outside, it's just so hot. I don't know. Right, Bob? Right?
Paul, I'm just gonna let don't even react, Dani. Don't.
I'm trying not to.
Don't. The Orioles had the day off yesterday. They'll take on the Mets this evening, tonight at 6:35. The Nationals got blanked yesterday by the St. Louis Cardinals, 6-0. Paul Goldschmidt, Alec Burleson homered. Miles Mikolas pitched into the seventh inning. The Cardinals took 2 of 3 from the Nationals. They are 33-18 since Mother's Day. Capitals named Chris Patrick as their general manager on Monday, with longtime general manager Brian McCullough remaining president of hockey operations. And finally, congratulations going out to Walkersville football player Logan Boston is going to Monmouth to play football. There you go. That's a look at sports. Yeah, right? Good stuff.
Yeah. Excellent. All right, gentlemen. Well, we always love chatting about what's happening here locally, and appreciate you guys jumping in with us each morning.
Wait, before we go, I just want to say I'm going to head up to Everything Frederick. I'm going to buy some cool swag for me and Bob, the Good Morning Frederick swag, but I want it autographed by Mama Cone.
Yes,
Did you do
Mama
that for me?
Cone will. She
if
will
you're listening,
for sure.
Mama Cone, please.
Yes, you got it.
Does it come in a husky?
Yeah, I will make sure and get the husky sizes just for you.
Fat man
I know,
in a little t-shirt.
Yeah, well, I know Chris likes to wear his nice and tight so he can do yes, there we go.
I don't want to brag, so I'll just,
On that note, I will see you guys tomorrow morning.
Take care, Dani.
Bye, Dani.
Bye.